What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracker. As you can see, it's nighttime. um, no real new issues, comic issues, but just a lot of stuff I want to talk about and a couple things I want to show that I thought was interesting. But one thing, it's WrestleMania weekend. Used to be a huge wrestling fan, and then I kind of stopped a little bit. This when I was a kid back in the '80s. I loved it. Then I kind of flatlined in the 90s. When Undertaker came out, I kind of started getting back into it, and then, of course, the Attitude Era, I was really into that, and just kind of goes up and down. But WrestleMania is on Sunday, which is cool. I might actually do a video of my top 10 wrestlers, and I don't know, haven't decided yet. But I saw Captain America yesterday, The Winter Soldier. Awesome movie. Falcon was cool, but The Winter Soldier was definitely, he kicked a lot of ass. So if you're a Captain America fan, you're gonna like it. What else was there? Oh yeah, and I watched this video that if you haven't seen yet, you have to check this thing out. I must have watched it like 15 times already, at least. It's called Bane Cat, and this guy did an awesome job. He basically has like this costume, Bane's costume and face mask on his cat called Peanut, and it is funny as hell. He's talking to him, and the cat talks back in Bane's voice, and he's like, I want you to do what I say because I'm the owner, and then the Bane cat's like, does that make you feel in charge? And the best part is he's actually he grabs like a box of cereal, and he's like, he smells, he's like, what you doing? And the cat goes, I peed in it. Can't do the Bane voice all that well, but you get the idea. Yeah, so that's interesting stuff. I want to thank a new subscriber, George McRedmond. I hope I said the name right. But thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. What else was there? Oh, yes. Yeah, losing my mind. House news, I guess, would be the thing. My fiance and I, we tracked down the real estate agent. We had to go to her office, which was fun, just to track her down. We set up an appointment to look at like 6 or 7 houses this Saturday. So I'm gonna be very busy. But a couple of the houses that we're looking at, half of them my fiance liked, and I was kind of like, whatever. And the other half I liked, and she was kind of like, But then there was one house that I liked, and now she's starting to come aboard on it because it's just a lot bigger. You're getting a lot more stuff for the money you're paying. And I don't want to get too into it, but it had a huge bonus room over the garage that was just massive, which I got to definitely check out. So we're hoping Saturday we'll take a look and hopefully find one and be able to put a bid down and say we want it, whatever, the whole spiel. So what else was there? Oh yes, Midtown News. They actually are doing the right thing. I finally got a hold of them yesterday. Talked to the manager I guess the manager of the store, the one that was there at the time, who knows. And I said, I waited so long for these books to show up. It took forever. I kept getting them to run around. Nobody knew where the books were. And I said, now that I got them, they're all pretty much, broken, damaged. It was like one actually had a hole in it, all these things. So the guy originally told me that he was going to, because I have to mail it back to them, he was telling me that they were going to give me a credit. And I was like, I don't even want a credit. And I was like, I just really just want my money back, and or send me new issues. And then he said that because I have to pay for the shipping back to them, which is a pain in the ass. So then he was giving me a credit for my shipping, just to send them back the books. Which I kind of flipped out. I'm like, this is just typical bullshit. I was like, nobody wants to take responsibility for the damaged stuff. I was like, the post office says it's not them, even though they're the ones who handle it. And you guys say it's not you, even though you're the ones who sent it friggin' around the world. So then I got a box, sent it to them, and I gave the guy one of the verification number, or receipt number, I forgot what the hell I had to do. So they deposited the shipping charge back into my bank account. So, free shipping back to them. They said they're sending me brand new issues of each one of the books, and they're supposedly giving me a coupon, which, the thing that's stupid is that The coupon only lasts for like a month, and by the time all the stuff I wanted I already got already, and I can't apply it, so it's kind of almost like useless, I guess. But I would say I would give it to everybody on YouTube, but apparently I'm the only one who can use it because it's got my name and all this shit on there. I don't know how it really works, but if I can change that in any way, I'll let everybody know, and maybe I'll throw a quick contest up there and give it out. It's only for $15, so it's not like it's a lot of money, but something. So they're doing all right, but I'm still so pissed that I don't even know when I'll even order from them again, which kind of sucks because a couple things I didn't order, the new Iron Fist. I didn't order that. I actually really wanted to get that because it looked cool, so I'll have to wait and see on that one. And Ghost Rider #2, and of course I actually forgot to order friggin' Superior Spider-Man #31 because I thought 30 was the last one, which I did get a chance to read before I sent it off, and I don't know. I mean, I knew they were going to do something, probably either do something really stupid to bring Peter Parker back, or something really cool. They went the stupid route. It makes sense, it really does, but it still was just like, really? After all that, this is what happens? But I'm not going to give anything away, because, people want to read it, so, but I wasn't too thrilled. So who knows, we'll see how 31 goes, but of course, the season finale of Walking Dead I wasn't too impressed with. I thought it was kind of boring and actually kind of shitty. A lot of people are like, oh, it was great. I'm like, I didn't like I liked the first half better. I mean, the second half was pretty cool, certain spots, but it wasn't all that great. Arrow, just watched Arrow with Deathstroke. That was insane. Arrow is getting better and better. Very cool stuff. So, this video is going to be long enough as it is, but now to go over what I wanted to go over. This is something that I think is pretty underrated, and right now you can kind of get them cheap. But of course, with my luck, it's always when I start looking for a certain title or I start going after a certain title, that's when all of a sudden it becomes popular as hell and everybody wants them, and then the friggin' prices skyrocket. So that's why I'm kind of cautious to show stuff off, because I'm like, I was like, now that I want to get these, I'm sure they're going to go through the roof. But what the hell, for the sake of fun. These I actually thought were Volume 1, but I was obviously wrong. When I got these when I was a kid, I didn't know there was a volume before it. I thought these were Volume 1. I never really paid too much attention. But there's actually Volume 2 I have. I don't have any of the Volume 1s. And I kept looking at these, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm not going to worry about Volume 1. I never read any of them, so I'm not really missing anything, I guess. But Volume 2 is what brought me into it. And what am I talking about? It is What If. These I actually thought were awesome when I was a kid. This one was actually a pretty good story. This is number 13, What If Professor X of the X-Men had become the Juggernaut. I actually got this one a couple of years ago. This is my most recent one, I guess. But very good story. And this is the one that started it off. I got this back in 1990 or 89. Yeah, I think it was 89, but it's got 1990 on there. But this one, flat out awesome, because this is the way I like Wolverine looks. This is number 16, What If Wolverine Battled Conan? And that's my favorite kind of costume. The way they had the old school 80s Wolverine is my favorite one. Granted, I do like the brown costume. I always like that one a little more than the yellow, but the 80s version of that rocked. And this is just a sick-ass book. A lot of cool stuff. If you're a Conan fan, definitely get this. If you're a Wolverine fan, definitely get this. This is my second copy, because the original copy I have, which is still in my comic box upstairs, was read so much that it's like just crumbling, like it's just falling apart. But this is what started all on the What If. And these are all Volume 2. Like I said, I don't have any of the Volume 1s. I did see Volume 1 on eBay, and that kind of got me. I was looking through my boxes upstairs, just kind of enjoy my collection, which everyone should do. Seriously, just take the time to go through your books and say, wow, that's cool. I can't believe I have that. Or it makes you feel really good. Well, it makes me feel good anyway. I'll look through stuff and I'm like, oh my god, forgot about that, and I'll read it, or look at something and be like, oh wow, I remember when I got that. It's just fun. That's like the real point of collections, is just not to really scrounge and go crazy trying to get things, which, okay, that's fun too, but the real purpose of a collection is to enjoy your collection. Enjoy what you have. And I say this all the time, never compare yourself to somebody else's collection, because you're gonna flip out. And if you try to catch up with somebody, like I said again, many videos, you don't know people's circumstances, sometimes people luck out and they were able to save an extra, a couple $100, or got their tax money, a little more tax money than they wanted, or they're able to, do this or do that. And then, if you turn around and compare, like, oh, how'd that guy get a $700 book, or how'd that guy get, Amazing Spider-Man #1, or how'd that girl get, the friggin' first Incredible Hulk, and I'm sitting here and I could barely get, a $2 book. Never do that, because it'll drive you nuts. But let's get back to the what ifs. This was another good one. This is number 17. What if Kraven the Hunter had killed Spider-Man? Basically, if you've ever read The Amazing Spider-Man, you know what happens in this. In the original Amazing Spider-Man, Kraven drugs Spider-Man, buries him alive, and then takes over his, identity, kind of, his Spider-Man identity, or tries to. And then when he figures out he can't do it, he commits suicide. In this, instead of drugging Spider-Man, he flat out kills him, and takes over his identity permanently. And then once Mary Jane realizes it's not Peter Parker, she gets the help of the Human Torch, Captain America, and Daredevil to take him down. Very cool. This one, it wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't bad. This is number 19. What if the Vision of the Avengers conquered the world? And basically what happens is his body gets destroyed. He uploads himself into the United States database, like their older computer, and basically turns into Skynet and starts taking over the world. But it wasn't bad. This one I wasn't really a fan of. I didn't think it was all that great. And this one is really, really wrecked, and I'll tell you why. But this is number 23. This is what if the all-new, all-different X-Men had never existed? And you can see how really wrecked it is. You can see Nightcrawler's just shot, and there's just stuff everywhere. The reason, I know people are like, oh, but you take such good care of your books. When I was a kid, I didn't. Basically what it was is when I first started collecting, I was a collector, but I wasn't like a hardcore collector. I wanted the books to read them. I didn't really care about the future. I wasn't like, oh, it's going to be worth money in the future, and someday it's going to be worth, whatever. Which, with comics, a lot of my friends ask me, like, oh, which one's going to be the money books? I don't know. You never know. And never try to go with your collection on that sole purpose, because if you do that, again, you're going to drive yourself insane trying to get like that special variant that's like $600, or that variant that was only in an exclusive area, and now it's $700. You missed it, $700. Like, oh no, you'll drive yourself nuts. It's a trap. It really is, and you never know. I mean, you look at Rocket Raccoon, who wasn't popular, 10 years ago, and now all of a sudden. But anyway, with the comics, what happened was, my philosophy when I was a kid, when I first started collecting, was I got them, I read them, I enjoyed them, I reread them, constantly. But I never put them in bags or boards, and I never had a box for them, because my philosophy was I'd rather spend my allowance on getting more books and reading more stories than actually spending the money on these bags and boards and these boxes, because it would take away from the books. Never do that. Always bag, board your comics, and get a comic box. Basically what would happen too is that my father gave me these milk crates. That's a big no-no. Especially when they're not bagged and board, and I'd throw them in a milk crate like a magazine and just kind of leave them to the side. Now the real problem was we moved around a lot when I was a kid, which most people know if you watch my videos, and one time we actually had to stay at my grandmother's house, and my father had put the milk crates in the garage. My grandmother's garage was shot. Like at the time it was bad. There was holes in the roof, there was no front door, the side, the walls were cracking, everything. There was, bugs, squirrels, bees, spiders, ants, everything, and it just was horrible. It's the worst place you can have books is outside, and that's pretty much what happened. If you ever see, from time to time, you'll see some books. I showed a couple of them with no cover. It's because of that. Like they just got rotted out there. Squirrels were chewing on them. They got wet, and that's pretty much what happened to this one. Just flat out shot. And then when I started working for my first comic book store, basically he got me involved. He's like, listen, if you want to keep your comics, he wasn't saying for it to be worth money. He said if you want to preserve them so that you can constantly read them whenever you want to, rather than disintegrating and getting to the point where you can't read it because you're missing a page because some squirrel chewed it up. He's like, you really need to put them in a bag and a board and really need to get a box. And quite honestly, he actually was the first person he gave me a few bags for free, a few boards for free, and he actually gave me my first short box for free, which was pretty damn cool. Which I thought it would take forever to fill that thing up, but goes fast. Moving on. This is number 24. This was another good story. This is What If Wolverine Was Lord of the Vampires? Basically, Wolverine kills Dracula. If you ever read the Uncanny X-Men, when Dracula bites, I think, Storm, and she becomes a vampire, and Nightcrawler kind of takes care of him and stuff like that. But in this one, he bites Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler, everybody, and then Wolverine turns around and kills him and becomes the new, Dracula, basically. And the Punisher basically takes up the role of Blade and tries to kill them all, which, very cool. Moving on, number 26, what if the Punisher had killed Daredevil? This was another good one. Even though he kills Daredevil, it really focuses on what happens with Spider-Man. Very, very cool. This one I thought kind of sucked. I really wasn't a fan of this one. This is number 35. This is What If the Fantastic Five fought Doctor Doom and Annihilus, Timequake Part 1 of 5. I just found this one kind of boring. I was just kind of like, didn't really appeal to me. This is another one that I kind of just thought was boring, but, no offense to any Thor fans or Fantastic Four fans, but this is number 38. What if Thor was a thrall of Seth, Timequake, number 4 or 5? That is another one that really didn't do it for me. I was kind of like, I know you're saying I'm biased because I'm a Spider-Man fan, but, hey. Most of my stuff's Spider-Man. This is number 42. This is What If Spider-Man had kept his 6 arms? This was awesome. I know. You're biased? No, I'm not. This was really cool. This, basically, if you ever read Amazing Spider-Man 100, 101, and 102, when he gets these arms, in the comics, those comics, he loses them because he gets an antidote through Morbius and the Lizard. In this, Morbius tries to escape, jumps into the ocean, and because he was hurt, he's bleeding, and a great white shark eats him. Yeah, that's right, Jaws eats him. And he never gets his cure. So basically, he gets in a huge fight with the Fantastic Four, he gets in a huge fight with the X-Men, and then later on, Mr. Fantastic basically says, hey, you know what? I have these things, you put them on your arms, it's going to cloak them so that no one can see them. They'll be there, but no one will know that they're there unless you want them to know. And with his arms, he's actually able to save Gwen Stacy, so she never dies. He's able to stop the Green Goblin without killing him. He stops Venom, doesn't destroy, but stops Thanos. This is a good one. Moving on. This is my second favorite one other than that Wolverine one, which is another one's kind of wrecked. But this is number 44. What if Venom had possessed the Punisher? This one was flat out awesome. Basically, instead of Eddie Brock being in the church, it's Frank Castle. And I'm going to show you some of these. It's pretty damn cool. As you can see, it's pretty wrecked. I got a new one anyway, but you can see Frank Castle's right there, and it's swirling around him. Basically, he thinks it's a suit from S.H.I.E.L.D., which you can take a look. How sick does that look? That is awesome. So once he figures out what it is, he doesn't know it's a symbiote. Like I said, he thinks it's a suit from S.H.I.E.L.D., a high-tech battle suit. He sneaks up, he figures out what it can do. He sneaks up on a mobster, and because the suit can transform, its appearance, he has like a gangster suit on. It mimics a different face, like it makes a different skin around him. So he walks up to this gangster and basically makes claws and just stabs the guy through the throat. And when his henchmen, I guess, turn around to try to defend him, he shoots out webbing, and he's like, oh, what the hell? He's like, what is this stuff? He's like, it's like Spider-Man's webbing. He's like, I don't like that at all because it's non-lethal. He's like, if you can mimic Spider-Man's webbing, then you must be able to mimic bullets. And as you can see, he makes a little machine gun come out of his forearm and starts shooting them down. And instead of web swinging, like Venom and Spider-Man, basically he, let's see if I can find one. Give me one sec, sorry. Yeah, there it is. He makes it form like a glider on the bottom down there. He makes it like make little glider wings. This is pretty cool though. Basically, he starts eliminating pretty much every crime member, and then the superheroes get kind of pissed, and because he's killing everybody and blah blah blah. He basically gets a huge fight with them. He starts kicking everybody's ass. He beats Spider-Man. He beats Daredevil. Then he realizes that the suit is, taking over him. And he basically goes into his subconscious and talks to the suit. He strikes a deal. He's like, we're going to make a deal. If you do exactly what I tell you to do without question, without, second-guessing me at all, I'll let you live. If you don't, I'll kill myself and make sure you die with me. So it's pretty sick. There's another one that wasn't too bad. It was kind of, a little dark, I guess. But this is number 46. What if Cable had destroyed the X-Men, part 1 or 2? Basically, in this, Cable is kind of like the bad guy. He's kind of questioning Xavier, and then Xavier winds up dying, and they blame Cable, and then the X-Men kind of divide themselves on who's going to kill Cable and who's not, whole big thing. Wasn't bad. This one was kind of, This is number 53. It's What If, 3 bone-chilling tales of alternate realities. Spider-Man killed the Lizard, Rick Jones became a Hulk, and what if War Machine was the original Iron Man? That's about it. This is the last one I have of Volume 2. This is number 62, What If Wolverine Battled Weapon X. This was insane. This really was a crazy book. Just kind of gotta read that one to know it. I also have a couple other ones that I just realized what they were. They're actually one-shots. I guess they were trying to bring back What Ifs, and I don't know how it went, but I guess it didn't do too well. But this is What If Magneto and Professor X had formed the X-Men together. And as you can see on the top, it says PSR. On the inside, it actually says number 1, and it says one shot. This one wasn't too bad. It was kind of a little boring at first, but then it kind of picked up. This one was kind of boring, so it shows I'm not biased. But this is What If Aunt May had died instead of Uncle Ben. Cool cover, but it's another one that says PSR, and then when you look in the inside, it says one shot, number 1, and this came out a couple months after this one did, or a couple of years. And the final one I'm going to show you, because I know you're dying to get out of this video, this one actually says number 1. This is What If Newer Fantastic Four. Also, What If Runaways Became the Young Avengers, Part 3 of 6. And this one was actually pretty good. Instead of the New Fantastic Four that they had back in the day, which I think was number 3... Fantastic Four 3, oh god, it's in the 340s, 350s, or 380s, I don't know, I can't remember, sorry, but in that book, it was the Grey Hulk, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, and Wolverine. This, they basically got rid of Ghost Rider and gave it to Iron Man, who wears the War Machine armor, and they fight Thanos, who basically gets the Infinity Gauntlet. That's pretty much what this is all about. It's them versus the Infinity Gauntlet. Very cool, very thick too. That will do it. I'm actually trying to, I'm making videos, but I'm trying to relax a little bit, because last night, I don't know what happened, I dislocated my shoulder at night, which is interesting, because I'm starting to feel it now as I'm moving around. The left shoulder, I dislocated a long time ago. It's an old martial arts injury, and I can actually dislocate it at will if I want. Pop it right out, pop it right back in. If you ever dislocate something, especially your shoulder, you know it hurts, but you know how much it hurts when you have to put it back in. It's a lot worse, especially the longer you wait to put the dislocated object, legs, shoulder, whatever, back in. The longer you wait, the more it hurts. This must have happened while I was sleeping, because I got up this morning, felt horrible. I could barely lift my arm, and I knew it was out of its socket. And the worst part, like I said, is when you wait a long time and you put it back in, it's horrible. And I had to put it back in and smash it against the wall, almost like Lethal Weapon, to get it to go back into its socket. Because this one, it's popped out a few times, but it usually goes right back in. But because it was so long, however many hours I slept, when I put it back in, I got nauseous, almost hit the ground. I almost passed out. The pain was horrible. But yeah, so that's fun. So I'm going to try to make videos, but it's going to be kind of steady, and like I said, I'm going to have a very busy week. I might make, like I said, the wrestling video, my top 10 favorite wrestlers, maybe top 5, maybe I'll just, who knows, because it's WrestleMania Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. I got the WWE Network, so can't wait to see that, the Hall of Fame. That Hall of Fame is going to be awesome. Ultimate Warrior, that's going to be an insane speech. If you don't know what I'm talking about, seriously, go on YouTube. Obviously you're on YouTube, but just type in Ultimate Warrior, not speeches, but just, I guess, what is it, his promos? Jesus. I don't think he even knew what the hell he was talking about. But, yeah, I'm gonna just try to take it a little easy, because, like I said, my arm is just, it's killing me, and if I have this huge, busy crap coming around, well, not crap, but, the house stuff, and I'm gonna be moving around, and just don't want to aggravate this thing too much. So you're gonna see sporadic videos, because I'll either be bored, waiting to do something else, or whatever. But, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. And, please like, comment, subscribe, dislike, share, tell your friends about it. Yeah, that will do it. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and taking the time to watch this extremely long video. It's not the size of your cave that matters, it's what you have in it. Later.